Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 4 of the 23-24 PTC Therapeutics Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, for this second fixture of the day, which will be contested, as you can see, between West Bromwich Albion Dudley and Muscle Warriors. We talk about how competitive this championship season has been. And if I bring up that league table once again, you see that these two, there's little to separate them. Both have 26 points. Knowing both of these squads, coaches and wider supporting staff, I know they have aspirations of securing promotion, whether that's automatic or that single playoff position in third. They'll be happy with the fact that Leeds Dynamos faltered slightly in their pursuit of third, drawing with Norwich City. So an opportunity for both of these teams to climb up the standings. Should West Bromwich Albion Dudley secure the 3 points, they would regain third position due to that favourable goal difference, and also a game in hand on the teams around them. Go through the squads very quickly. West Bromwich Albion Dudley have Amy Sherman, Amy Lee Julian, Jack Gorder, Laura Evans, Kean Collins and Jack Westmoreland. They're coached by Dave Lewis. Muscle Warriors, that of Mitchell Goslin, Ryan, Jacob Vickers, Shay Murray, Parth Gakwad, Ricken Shah, their coach Alan Murray. So hopefully this turns out to be the closely contested, high action affair we all hope. Our official for this one in the centre is Steve Crump. Live on Court B, set to kick off in a few minutes' time. Manchester City PFC take on Middlesbrough. Two teams at very different ends of the table. Of their two games yesterday, West Bromwich Albion Dudley picked up maximum points, an opening 3-1 victory over AFC Bournemouth Warriors was followed by a 2-1 victory over Teesside Steel, a brilliant win. They start Sunday's round of fixtures, of course, against Muscle Warriors before facing Greenbank and Leeds Dynamo, so a really tough Sunday for them. Muscle Warriors with a 1-0 defeat to Teesside yesterday, losing also to Greenbank. Today they face Dudley and Norwich City. Just the final few checks before I'll bring you the action live. Once I know the starting four of these two teams, I will bring you them. Really is proving to be one of the most entertaining seasons that we've ever had in the Championship division. Greenbank and Middlesbrough been fairly dominant at the summit of the division. Middlesbrough unbeaten, Greenbank leading the way, both in terms of points and that goal difference, more than double that of Middlesbrough. But looking down at 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and even 8th potentially, any one of those teams could potentially secure that 3rd position. For context, whoever finishes 3rd in the Championship will face whoever finishes 10th in the Premiership in a one-off playoff game for the prize of Premiership status. Positions 1 and 2 in the Championship, of course, are automatically promoted. Worth noting also that Middlesbrough and Greenbank are set to meet both today and in game week 5, so either one of those two could falter or drop points, leaving the door open for teams such as Muscle Warriors or West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Just getting the final few checks. West Bromwich Albion Dudley comprised of Laura Evans, Amy Lou Julian, Jack Gorder and Kean Collins. Muscle Warriors have Mitchell Goslin in goal, Rickenshaw in the centre, Jacob Vickers on the left and Shay Murray on the right, and we are underway. Amy Lee Julian with possession here, having arguably her most impressive season in the National League. If I can bring up very quickly just Dudley's top goal scorers in the division. You can see she has 7 goals to her name. Jack Gorder as well, absolutely brilliant. But a lot of these players for Dudley have contributed in front of goal, led by Dave Lewis, a seasoned England international. Jack Gorder has possession of the ball now, met by Rickenshaw, flicked back to Amy Lee Julian. Good work from Rickenshaw, just to try and frustrate the 2 Dudley players. Quickly taken, Jacob Vickers intercepts. The good early pressure from West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Down the line, blocked once again by Jacob Vickers, who tries to angle it over to Shay Murray, who has to drop off, otherwise surely a 2-on-1. Jack Gorder waiting for a potential flick from Lee Julian in the centre. Down the line, out of play. We look at the top goal scorers of Muscle Warriors. You can see Reece Mallett leading the way, unfortunately not here this weekend. Rickenshaw probably want more goals to his name than the 5 there. Dylan Palmer also absent. They'll be hoping Shay Murray and Jacob Vickers in them attacking wide areas can contribute today. Tough round of fixtures, but a far more favourable one on paper in game week 5 if they can take some momentum from today into June's round of fixtures. Shay Murray to take to Rickenshaw, guided goal bound. Laura Evans called into defensive duties for the first time this game. Had 3 minutes, very congested in that central area. 2-on-1 awarded to West Bromwich Albion Dudley, who are trying to capitalise on just a lapse of concentration among the Muscle Warriors players. Indirect free kick, Amy Lou Julian to take, Jack Gorder in plenty of space on this right hand wing, the left of Dudley, attempts an effort at goal. Rickenshaw closes the gap, out of play. Keane Collins finds Jack Gorder brilliantly and attempts an effort at goal, or certainly shaped up to do so. Beautiful pass back to Jack Gordon. Dudley, despite that 2-on-1 in the favour of Muscle Warriors, putting together some really nice passages of play in the opening 4 minutes. One of the most exciting young up-and-coming teams anywhere in the UK. They'll no doubt have aspirations of joining their sister clubs of West Bromwich Albion and West Bromwich Albion Throstles in the Premiership. What a fantastic hub West Bromwich Albion is for power chair football. Really is leading the way in the country. To have 3 teams competing at the very summit of the National League and the English power chair football speaks volumes as to the work they do behind the scenes. Amy Lee Julian comes back to prevent Jacob Vickers from advancing. Keane Collins and Gorder just switch wings. Currently 0-0 on Court B in that fixture between Middlesbrough and Manchester City, with Greenbank yet to play today. A win for Middlesbrough would see them go within 2 points of the league leaders Greenbank. Lee Julians, Keane Collins, no real direction on that pass across the face of the Muscle Warriors box. Out for a kick in, taken quickly by Jacob Vickers, cleared by Jack Gorder, who receives the ricochet. He's trying to force his way down the line. Deemed to be in play still, the whole ball has to leave the court. The red lines designate the perimeter, certainly the wide lines. Lee Julian trying to pick out Jack Gorder. Mitchell Goslin alert to that opportunity. Round of applause from their coach Alan Murray. Into the box, Keane Collins does well to try and leave it. Mitchell Goslin once again very much alert to that chance. 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Muscle Warriors. Goslin straight out of play for a Dudley ball. Both of these two teams have options on the bench. West Bromwich Albion, Dudley, Jack Westmoreland and Amy Sherman. Single substitute for Muscle Warriors, that of Parth Gakwad. Eight minutes played. Dudley nil, Muscle Warriors nil. Keane Collins can't quite get the angle to guide it over to Jack Gorder. Amy Sherman with the pick off, with the same intended target cut out by the Muscle Warriors defence. Well kept in by Keane Collins. Bypasses Jacob Vickers, met by Rickon Shah. Out of play for a Dudley ball. Amy Lee Julian to take. She has Jack Gorder down the line, who she opts to find. Nice ball over to Keane Collins. Attempt to goal and an open net to slot home within. Rickenshaw, nothing he could do to prevent that goal going over the line. Almost went in slow motion for them Muscle Warriors defenders. It was fairly obvious as to the intent of Keane Collins. Nonetheless, nothing Rickenshaw or Mitchell Gosling could do to prevent the goal. Alan Murray just having a conversation with his players. No doubt will want them to regroup very quickly to prevent further damage. Collins back to Lee Julian, trying to create them large passing triangles around Rickenshaw. Cut out by Jacob Vickers. Shay Murray with an opportunity to break. It's been very isolated up the court into Rickenshaw. Have a look at what that 1-0 scoreline does for Dudley's aspirations of Premiership promotion. As you can see, it does see them leapfrog Leeds Dynamos into that coveted third spot. Favourable goal difference of +21 will see them be fairly firm contenders, if not favourites, for that third position. Leeds Dynamos also very much highly regarded as a team that could compete in the Premiership. Amy Lee Julian down to Keane Collins, over to Jack Gorder, switches the play, cut out by Rickenshaw. Finds Keane Collins, who no doubt had the intended action of finding Jack Gorder. Would have liked to have seen Amy Lee Julian have a little bit more direction and purpose with that pass, who just goes into the side of Mitchell Gosling. Rickenshaw has to clear out of the box as he filled in that defensive role vacated by Mitchell Gosling. Starting to open up now, certainly more in the favour of West Bromwich Albion Dudley than that of Muscle Warriors. Shay Murray does well. No real options in support. Rickenshaw just taking position on the edge of the Dudley box. Strong contact from Shay Murray. Just asked to calm down from Steve Crump. As you can see, there has been a goal on Court B. Middlesbrough have broken the deadlock against Manchester City. I will once again get up that top 16 table to see what that does for their pursuit of the championship crown. As mentioned, 2 points behind Greenbank now, with a healthy 9-point buffer over third. So without any certainties, it looks like Greenbank and Middlesbrough will secure automatic promotion, barring very late drama in game weeks 4 and 5, certainly what's remaining of game week 4. So it's just that third position left up for grabs. Amy Lee Julian trying to bypass Jacob Vickers. Just off the front of the Dudley number 3's chair. We have our first substitute of the game. Number 11, Jack Gorder, and number 17, Kean Collins, both leaving the court. Double substitution for Dave Lewis. We'll see Amy Sherman and Jack Westmoreland both enter the action. Indirect free kick for Amy Lee Julian into Amy Sherman for her first involvement. Lee Julian over to Jack Westmoreland for his first involvement. Can't quite angle his effort goal bound, but the danger still present. Nice pick off from Westmoreland. Confirmation of that second change for West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Goal scorer Kean Collins coming off. Back to Shay Murray, attempts an effort at goal, blocked by Amy Lee Julian. Less than 5 minutes left to be played of this first half. Out of play from Mitchell Goslin. Jacob Vickers to take. Into Rickenshaw. Beautiful cushion pass into Shay Murray, who can't quite get the connection, but lapsing concentration from Laura Evans almost gifts the Muscle Warriors number 9 another opportunity to secure that equaliser. Brilliant work from Amy Lou Julian. Breaks the lines and the press. Vickers. Amy Lee Julian was unable to make contact in that rotated spin kick, so possession given back to Shay Murray. Jacob Vickers now occupying that central position for the Watford base side. Good late pressure. Spearheaded by Rickenshaw. Laura Evans, the busiest she's been all game. 2-on-1 in favour of Muscle Warriors, with Laura Evans leaving the vicinity of her goalkeeper area and box. So an indirect free kick, 2.5 minutes left to be played, presents Muscle Warriors with their most credible opportunity to register a goal in this first half. Shay Murray looks like he'll shape up to take this. Rickenshaw, the most obvious option in the box. Jacob Vickers a lot deeper. Would have to generate significant power and accuracy if it was to go back to the Muscle Warriors number 7. Just has to go via another chair, so I wonder if he'll try and play this off of Laura Evans or one of the West Bromwich Albion Dudley defenders. Rickenshaw now just behind Amy Sherman as to not give away a 2-on-1 in the favour of Dudley. Amy Sherman now drops off over into the box, brilliantly cleared by Amy Lee Julian. It's really good work from Dudley there. Shah over to Murray. Seen out of play from Amy Lee Julian. Jacob Vickers angles it towards Laura Evans in the West Bromwich Albion Dudley goal. Final minute remains West Bromwich Albion Dudley 1, Muscle Warriors 0. Dave Lewis will be far the happier of the two coaches approaching this half-time break. Good clearance from Amy Lee Julian, puts Mitchell Goslin under some pressure. 2-on-1, surely Jack Westmoreland just drawn into that action there. 3 points will be so important to Dudley if they're able to see this over the line. Games against Greenbank and Leeds Dynamos yet to be played today. That final fixture against Dynamos could almost single-handedly determine who secures that third placement at the conclusion of the season. Such an important fixture. Half-time, just the one goal scored by Keane Collins, the separating factor for anyone wanting information on Dudley's next games. Greenbank they face at 12:45 on pitch B, also streamed live across the WFA's YouTube, before facing Leeds Dynamos at 4:15 on court A. Muscle Warriors, who trail here, have one final game remaining against Norwich City, scheduled for a 1:55 kickoff. But thank you to all that are joining me here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre for game week 4 of the 23-24 PTC Therapeutics Championship. I'll bring up the league table for you to look at in this halftime break. Hello everyone, welcome back to this fixture between West Bromwich Albion Dudley and Muscle Warriors. Let me clear that table graphic. Just separated by a single goal. Scored by Keane Collins in the first half. Just been informed by their coach Dave Lewis, should they secure the 3 points here, this will be their 5th consecutive win, so really gaining some incredible momentum in the latter stages of the 23-24 campaign. It's been a substitute for Muscle Warriors. I'll bring confirmation of that one shortly. We're soon to be underway in this second half. Thumbs up from Mitchell Goslin and Laura Evans in the Muscle Warriors and West Bromwich Albion Dudley goal respectively. And we are underway. Amy Lee Julian just firing it down the court. Following that, I'll be able to bring confirmation of that change, which sees Path Gakwad, the Muscle Warriors number 13, come on in place of number 7, Jacob Vickers. Fired by Mitch Gosling, controlled by Shay Murray, met quickly by Amy Sherman. To go through the squads very quickly, Laura Evans, the designated goalkeeper of Dudley. Amy Lee Julian in that familiar central role, complement of wingers in Amy Sherman and Jack Westmoreland. Muscle Warriors, Mitchell Goslin in goal, in the bright orange goalkeeper jersey. In the centre, number 23, Rickenshaw wingers, Path Gakwad and Shay Murray. Goslin, pick off from Rickenshaw, no doubt intended for Shay Murray, cut out well by Amy Lee Julian. An opportunity for Path Gakwad, probably orientated his chair in the wrong direction, and now Jack Westmoreland has an opportunity to break and score for West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Well adjusted by the Muscle Warriors defence. A key opening engagement from Path Gakwad. Would have probably wanted to do better. Could have forced an effort at goal as Jack Westmoreland guides an effort goal bound, cleared off the line by Rickenshaw. It's been a very entertaining opening 2 minutes in this second half. Live currently on Court B, Middlesbrough lead Manchester City by 2-0, as that graphic shows. Lee Julian down to Sherman, trying to switch the play to Jack Westmoreland, high on the left-hand wing, prevented well by Path Gakwad. Back to Sherman. Into the box. So close. Top 6 positions of the championship table. Dudley do play Leeds Dynamos at 4:15 today. Path Gakwad appealing for that ball. Frustrated, that's not awarded in his favour. Amy Lee Julian to take into Amy Sherman, cleared by Rickenshaw, just off the back wheel of Amy Sherman. Laura Evans has to be aware there, and a lack of concentration. Brilliant work from Shay Murray. Just distracted Laura Evans in the West Bromwich Albion Dudley goal. Just caught into two minds as to how to best engage that attempt. After 24 minutes, arguably against the run of play, Muscle Warriors level the tie. Could be a very significant goal in the race for that playoff position. Let's see what that goal does to the standings. It puts Leeds Dynamos back in the driving seat. Dudley dropping down a number of positions. Still plenty of time for either one of these two teams to gain a foothold of this game. Parth Gakwad, very deep kick in, controlled nicely by Rikin Shah. Does well to bypass Amy Lee Julian. Has a little bit of contact, a little bit of a nick into the side of Rikin Shah. But much better from Muscle Warriors, no doubt. Were given their instructions at the half-time break from Alan Murray, their coach. Whatever was said, it's bearing fruit in the opening 5.5 minutes. Shay Murray will probably aim for the side of Rikin Shah's chair. Keep an eye on Parth Gakwad, should he be able to angle it over to the number 13. Laura Evans will want to remain resolute and alert at this occasion. She does so well. Out for a goal kick. Interestingly, she switched positions with Amy Lee Julian, is now the most defensive of the four Dudley players. There's a very good dead ball hit on her. Laura Evans now occupying in that central role. Whether that's a slight tactical switch up from Dave Lewis or just at the moment, we will soon see, but she's doing a good job preventing Rikin Shah at the moment, who eventually breaks clear. Now 3 players against the 2. Heavy contact between Shay Murray and Laura Evans off the ball. Shay Murray receives a yellow card. Shay Murray trying to vacate that space as to not be a 2-on-1. Thankfully, neither player has suffered anything as a result of that heavy contact. Shay Murray to take. Attempt at goal, controlled by Amy Lee Julian. She's going to try and weave past Rikin Shah. Jack Westmoreland and Amy Sherman very high up the court. Muscle Warriors arguably the better of the two teams across this second half thus far. Jack Westmoreland now keeps it in play. Flicked towards Lee Julian. Amy Sherman with an attempt cleared by Mitch Gosling. Contact from Jack Westmoreland. Just given a warning from Steve Crump. Gosling into Shah, over to Shay Murray. Substitute for Dudley. We'll see them make the same double change, or the opposite of that double change made in the first half. Jack Gorder re-entering the action in place of Jack Westmoreland. Amy Sherman leaving the court in place of Cian Collins, the earlier goal scorer. Good early introduction and involvement from Jack Gorder forces Mitchell Goslin into a save. Lee Julian across the box, open gut finish for Cian Collins, who fires the ball into the left-hand post. A real let-off for Muscle Warriors, who are going to try and break now. Shay Murray readjusts to drive onto the ball, met by Laura Evans. Really opening up now. Rickenshaw can't quite get the accuracy on that. Shape to pick it off, down to Shay Murray in this bottom right-hand corner. And then at the last minute, I think he wanted to switch and change it to Parth Gakwad. That lack of assertiveness in his decision-making gifted possession back to Dudley. Proving to be a really good game here in game week 4 of the championship. Lee Julian down to Gorder. Very congested between Rickenshaw and Shay Murray. Wasn't quick enough to vacate the space, so indirect free kick. Amy Lee Julian to take. Cian Collins to her left. Jack Gorder to her right. She opts for the latter. Rickenshaw trying to weave past Amy Lee Julian. Contact between the two players. Amy Lee Julian, the player at fault, like her teammate earlier. She's given what will probably be a final warning. Shah trying to pick out Gakwad, who does so brilliantly. Gorder. Another 2-on-1. A lot of players drawn into the action in the centre of the court. Once again, just a little lack of concentration across the game. Shay Murray lucky not to be awarded. The 2-on-1 is eventually given in the favour of Muscle Warriors. Could have easily been in favour of Dudley. Quickly taken. Jack Gorder's going to have an attempt here off the side of Rickenshaw's chair. Amy Lee Julian trying to find Cian Collins on the left-hand wing. Parth Gakwad with a follow-up effort. Really is end-to-end stuff. 8 minutes remaining in this second half. Dudley 1, Muscle Warriors 1, and Jack Gorder has an attempt. Cleared by the chair of Mitchell Goslin. Fantastic support from the mezzanine as Cian Collins can't quite get the timing and or connection to trouble the Muscle Warriors defence. And now Muscle Warriors will break. Brilliant work from Rickenshaw. Tries to weave his way around Amy Lee Julian and Laura Evans. They readjust. Parth Gakwad waiting on the right-hand side of the box. Really is proving to be one of the games of the weekend so far, this. Lee Julian over to Jack Gorder, and a ricochet goes over the line. A fantastic finish from Jack Gorder, who nets his 12th goal of the season. End-to-end stuff, splitting pass over to the number 11 winger, and there's nothing Mitchell Goslin could do to prevent that Dudley goal. West Bromwich Albion Dudley 2, Muscle Warriors 1. They're back in the driving seat for that third spot. Just that single goal sees them leapfrog Norwich, Villa Rockets and Leeds Dynamos. Lee Julian. Met by Rickenshaw, can't get the contact, so Keane Collins has possession. Jack Gordon would have liked a little bit more angle on that pass to pick out Keane Collins again, but Amy Lee Julian continuing in to pull the strings in the centre. Has developed so much in the past few seasons. Going to get a substitute this time for Muscle Warriors as Jacob Vickers looks like he's re-entering the action in place of Parth Gakwad. So his first involvement since his reintroduction. Jacob Vickers will take this kick in into Rickenshaw to Shane Murray, who can't get the timing, and almost a repeat of the earlier Muscle Warriors goal. Laura Evans this time very much alert to that any deflections, ricochets or changes in the ball's direction. It remains West Bromwich Albion Dudley 2, Muscle Warriors 1. Shane Murray into the box, nearly picks out Jacob Vickers. A crucial touch from Amy Lee Julian. The ball's still live. Very congested in the centre. 2-on-1 in favour of Muscle Warriors. Really is an excellent game of power chair football. Three players committed forward from Muscle Warriors. Shane Murray looks like he'll take it. Rickenshaw on the edge of the box, now marked by Keane Collins. Over to Rickenshaw, pick off across the box to Jacob Vickers, and an attempt at goal just wide of the right-hand post. Well worked opportunity. Unfortunately, they're unable to convert. Laura Evans would have had it covered had it been on target anyway. 2-on-1 once again. This time in the favour of Jack Gorder and West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Keane Collins calling for the ball on the right-hand wing. Into Gorder, over to Keane Collins, blocked by Rickenshaw. Out of play for a Dudley ball. Pick off from Rickenshaw. Took a crucial touch off Jack Gorder. Shane Murray would have almost certainly been set away on the left-hand wing. So another indirect free kick. Amy Lee Julian to take. Keane Collins very square, so she opts to go for Jack Gorder, the goal scorer of Dudley's seconds. Very stop-start, certainly in the last 5 or 6 minutes. 2.5 minutes remaining. Dudley 2, Muscle Warriors 1. Lee Julian down to Keane Collins, cut out by Jacob Vickers, and now an opportunity for Shane Murray. Guides in effort, goal bound. Couldn't trouble Laura Evans too much, and this could potentially be a red card for the Muscle Warriors number 9. Heavy contact with the West Bromwich Albion Dudley goalkeeper once again. Just trying to understand the decision Steve Crump will make. It probably, by the laws of the game, actually goes in the favour of West Bromwich Albion. Dudley's just getting that last ticking off from Steve Crump. Could very easily be a red card, but wanting to keep this game in full flow and 4v4, Steve Crump gives what is surely a very last warning to the Muscle Warriors number 9. Keane Collins has to be careful, trapped in that top right hand corner. Very fortunate. Amy Lee Julian looks like she just backed off the very last minute. Looks like Shay Murray will be coming off. Maybe a decision made between coach and official to ensure Shay Murray isn't sent off. So Path Gakwad back into the court. Have less than 10 seconds to try and influence this result. Dudley set to secure their 5th consecutive win in the 23-24 PTC Therapeutics Championship. Arguably the hardest run of fixtures they have possible today remaining. Greenbank up next before Leeds Dynamos. I'll bring the full table up at the conclusion of this game. I've had the regulation 20, Jack Gorder, Amy Lee Julian, Rickenshaw, can't quite get any purchase on the ball. Lee Julian won't want to do anything too rash to jeopardise her team's win. Out of play for a Dudley ball. Full time on court B. Keane Collins clears off the back of Jacob Vickers' chair. Will they have one last break, an attempt to find an equaliser? Full time. West Bromwich Albion Dudley 2, Muscle Warriors 1. Opening goal from Keane Collins in the first half saw them assert their dominance before an equaliser, arguably against the run of play. Laura Evans struggling to deal with a deflected ball towards her goal line, but Dudley didn't panic. They took their time and carved out an opening via Jack Gorder. If I bring up the league table to see what that does for the wider standings, you can see that Dudley do indeed maintain that position in 3rd. Leeds Dynamos with a game in hand, but with the 2 to play later on today, that can be taken out of consideration. Villa Rockets Lions also on 29 points, Norwich City on 28. Muscle Warriors faltered slightly in their pursuit of that 3rd place, but still only 3 points away, so that context very much needed. Next up on court A, AFC Bournemouth Warriors take on Leeds Dynamos. Thank you to all that have joined me. Hope you can tune in to that one next.